Good morning. My name is Angeline Waymeyer. I'm so excited for today's another amazing episode for our entrepreneur speaker series. And I have this amazing gift. I'm very excited to have King Raj Singh on the show with us. So Raj, I met him at a conference, and I really impressed by his accomplishment and by his heart for serving others. Raj is a successful entrepreneur and also an inspiring role model for helping people gaining freedom through passive income. So without further ado, let's welcome King Raj Singh on the show here with us.
Thanks so much, Angeline. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Hey Raj, in the beginning, right? I was asking you. I said, how did you come up this title about King Raj? Just let us let our audience give them some background.
It's actually very simple. It's just because the name Raj in Hindi means king, so it's a play on words. King Raj, it really means the same thing. It's the name of Raj. So it kind of stuck with me, and I also sing in a Caribbean band, and they started putting my name as King Raj on flyers, and it just stuck with me years ago. So people just keep calling me that, even if I try not to. It still kind of exists without me.
Wow, that's amazing that people created a name for you. And would you be able share a little bit with our listeners, right? What is your background? And because today our topic is passive income. And this is not something we've been taught in school or read from our textbook. Really curious, like, what is your story? What is your background? And how do you become the expert in terms of passive income?
Well, it started actually when I was a young kid. My parents got divorced, and because of that, money always seemed to be an issue. And I remember when my grades started to drop, and I didn't get skipped anymore and things like that. It was because of what was going on in the household. But then when they always told me to get a good education, study hard, and get a scholarship for college. And I did study hard, got in a good education, and I received a partial scholarship. But they couldn't afford the rest of the tuition for me to go to that school, private school. And because of that, I learned at a young age that, I wanted this to never happen for my future generations. And I wanted to figure out how money worked, how wealth worked. And I started studying how money works, basically. And I started reading a lot of books on it. I attended a lot of seminars and went to, all kind of trainings and listened to audio tapes at the time and things like that, just to flood my brain with this knowledge that I didn't have before about how generational wealth works. And that's what got me into this whole, industry.
Oh, wow. It's so interesting that I have similar path like you because I'm from China. And you were born and raised here or from different country?
Actually born here. Ni hao, right?
Ni
Been to China a few
hao.
times. I love it over
Ah,
there. But I was born in America. I'm first generation for my family born here. My parents are from the Caribbean, Guyana and Trinidad. And Caribbean, the kind of people, their character, are very hardworking people, especially physically. And it was a mindset shift for me when I started studying successful mentors. And then I realized that they didn't work hard, they work smart instead. And I had to make that shift as well.
beautiful. So speaking of mentors, if you look back in your life, Raj, who plays a very important role throughout this journey for you?
There were a lot of people on the way. I mean, I started from being a teenager in home-based business opportunities with network marketing companies and so forth, where I've had that's where I was introduced to the world of mentors at a young age and personal development. And then from there, I just kept going to other companies, other success training companies that specialized in that, and all the way to now. So I've had many mentors along the way, and I still do. And what I realized is the more successful I became, the more income I started producing, then I would hire more mentors, hire more coaches that are specialized in that. So I started with one as a life coach a long time ago, probably 15 years ago or so, and then from there, every few years, as I became more profitable, then I would hire more mentors and more coaches as well.
That's beautiful. And how many coaches and mentors that you have right now in at this stage of life?
Now I probably have about five, I would say, in different areas, different industries. I like to consider them my personal board of advisors. So I get to run a lot of things by them, depending on what industry it is and what their expertise is. And I like that because I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. Sometimes it's good to feed our ego and to help other people, yes, but for my own personal growth, I need to have people that I can rely on that know a lot more than me. And that's what I do with them.
That's beautiful. And when you was talking, it made me realize that I saw a pattern because we have many other very successful entrepreneurs on our show. And while you're talking, I see that they all start with one in their life. And as they grow, they incorporate more and more and more mentor in their life, right? So listeners, if you are listening to this show right now, remember, you cannot do this alone, right? Having the right mentor in your life is very, very critical. And Raj, you mentioned when you first get started, you have a corporate job, yeah? You start out like everybody else, right? Working in a company. Tell us a little bit of that.
Sure. My background is I'm a technical guy. I'm a geek by nature. So my bachelor's degree is in computer science, and I was in the field for about 12 years. I started in high school actually as a computer technician, and just went through the rankings from help desk administrator to desktop support. Then my last job was a network administrator for a Fortune 100 company, and then left all of that because my investments on the side were working for me instead of me working for it, and I was making a lot more with that on the side than my job, so ultimately I just ended up leaving that.
Okay, so you start out as in a corporate, and then you make money. You don't just spend it, you set money aside to invest so that the investment make more money for you, so that you have the choice to leave the corporate and pursue your own entrepreneurship journey. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely that. I mean, I saved my funds and I invested a lot of it in not only in investment vehicles like real estate back then, but I invested a lot in myself. I mean, I remember when my accountant would look at my, when I would go to file my tax, he's like, no, you cannot spend this much on personal trainings and coaching for yourself. And I'm sure you know what I mean, because a lot of us in the field get that same thing because we invest in ourselves. Yeah. And then I'm like, here, look at the credit cards. You'll see that, it's all true.
Yeah, so sometimes people, they look at it as an expense, right? Oh, there's so much money going out. So in your point of view, you look at those not as an expense, you look at those as an investment for yourself. Yes?
Yes. I mean, people ask me all the time, what's the best investment that they can do? And I always, say no matter what, even with, Google SEO, Facebook ads and the internet and shopping online and e-commerce, with all of those things, the best investment that you can make is still in yourself.
I see. So now you look back in your life. Yes, you may spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in those personal improvement, but at the end, your ROI, your return on investment, it's way more than your other investment. Do you agree?
Yes, correct. And Warren Buffett says that as well. One of the richest men in the world, that the best investment you can make is in yourself because the dividends, the returns on that investment are infinite.
And then, Raj, you mentioned when you first started your career in pursuing entrepreneurship, you start out as a network marketing. Actually, that's very similar to my own personal journey. So can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because network marketing or direct sell, right? It has different people have different point of view. And I just want to hear from your own point of view. What do you think about this industry, and how does this industry, network marketing or direct sell, has empowered you through this journey?
I believe it was very instrumental in my growth at a young age. Like, I was a teenager when I got started, about 17 years old. Had just graduated high school, and got introduced to it, and I loved it. I love the fact that I can learn from mentors, that people that were successful, one, to know them, to hang out with them, but number two, to actually have them teach me personally. It just made sense to me. And I love this world of personal development. And I learned so many just really crucial business skills that I was able to take from that model and then apply it to every other business that I've ever done afterwards. And I
Mm,
was hardcore in it for a few years and within different companies and this and that. But I learned so many principles in it. Didn't make a lot of money when I was in those companies, but the
mhm.
training I received, I think it's just vital for anyone to have that foundation.
Wow. So for young adults, right? Because you start out as when you was 18, 17 years old. So for people that just get starting out like 17, 18 years old, do you think that network marketing or direct sell, it's a great vehicle for them to get started because it requires little to nothing upfront investment, but the personal growth, the things that they can learn is so much. Do you recommend that's something that they can start learning entrepreneurship from those business model?
Yeah, I love how you said it. Everything that you said is carefully articulated for that exact things that I would say yes, because you're saying for that entrepreneurial mindset, for that training, for that type of foundation, then I think yes, it is something they should get involved with. Um, they should, and from the most people don't make a lot of money at that. They may be the exception that does, and if they do, then that's even better. But if they don't, as long as they know that going in, and I would recommend, just like anything, any investment that they have some kind of income already as
Mm.
a main thing. So that could be the side thing, because I have seen people burn out and stress out. So you don't want that to happen as well.
I totally agree with you. I always suggest people, right, keep your 9 to 5 because that's something that pays the bill. And in the meantime, develop yourself, learning the skill either from investment, network marketing, because that's not something that you can accomplish overnight. It's like 5 to 10 years of learning curve. Do you agree?
I do agree with that. Yes. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but I just like to go with more of the rule, what's working. I don't like to go against the grain too much. I want to, have more of the odds on my side. And once again, the training that you receive from there could be very key. But I will say that with the internet now and so many opportunities for people now, just because of the internet, to, generate additional income online, whether it's e-commerce or SEO or Facebook ads or marketing agencies. There's just so many ways to do it now.
Mm.
I wouldn't say anymore that that's the only way as far as starting with network marketing. I think it was a great, valuable way in the past,
Mhm.
pre-internet, but now I would say there are also other ways as well that can teach you the same thing, as far as online, because there's so much more training. I mean, when I started in network marketing, then the only things we could do for personal development was we had to buy books, we had to buy audio cassettes and then CDs
Mm.
and go to seminars. Now there's so many things available on YouTube and podcasts and audiobooks. So you don't have to spend that amount of money that we did back in the day. A lot of that information is free now, or you can pay very little to it because of the internet and availability.
I see. So Raj, let's go back to the journey about you start investing. How did you know about the concept of passive income? Because most people we didn't know what is called passive income. That's something that we never heard of. Can you tell us a little bit, in your point of view, what is your definition of passive income?
Passive income is really, when your income is more than your expenses, your passive income. And passive income is basically when you set up a vehicle, it may take some work up front, little to no work up front, but after that, it takes little to no work to maintain that vehicle. It's like the golden goose that keeps laying those golden eggs for you. And you never want to kill that golden goose, you just want to live off of those eggs. But the eggs that you receive, the dividends from that investment, right? The returns monthly from that investment, when those returns, your passive income, exceeds your monthly expenses by $1, you are now what? Financially free. A
Financially
lot of
free.
a
Yeah.
lot of time my clients, they think that they need to become multimillionaires to be financially free. And then they realize when we work it out, the numbers, that's not true. Because as long as you have $1 more in passive income than your expenses, you are now financially free.
Beautiful. So, how did you know about this concept? Certainly, we're not learning that from school. And is that from your mentor? How did you learn that passive income?
It was from going to a lot of seminars and then reading books on the subject. And every wealth book would talk about passive income. And any
Ex-
seminar that you go to about, wealth creation or any investment, we'll talk about passive income as well.
Yes, and the I know about passive income stream. It's actually from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure you have read that, right?
I
And
love that book. Yes.
yeah, and since then I was so fascinated, and like I went through the same journey like you, and learning and things like that. So we have a question, is that you already answered the definition of passive income. Now, so Raj, why do you think that passive income is so important in our life?
Great question. Why is it important? Well, I'll tell you why I got into it as well. Like I said, as a young kid, I saw my parents, hardworking people. My dad was always working, whether it was at a job or his real estate investment business as a handyman. So he was always busy, never at home. And then eventually my parents got divorced. So me as a kid, seeing that, I equated hard work or working hard outside the house to feed your family with losing your family. So that's how I naturally, subconsciously, I didn't realize this till years later, but that's why I gravitated to wanting to learn about passive income, because I knew that I didn't want to leave my family to go work and be without them. I wanted to do something where I can still be with my family, the most important things to me, and then still generate income. So that's how I personally got involved in passive income. And I still am not married, don't have kids yet, but I always wanted to set that foundation. So when that time does come, then I'm adequately set up for that.
Yes, and I always tell people that if you choose active income, right, you can always have the active lifestyle. Means that you always have to work. But you having a passive income on the side that you can choose to work versus then you have to work, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it's not for everyone. I mean, even my siblings, family members, friends, not all of them are entrepreneurial. Very few are, actually. And that's just something that us entrepreneurs, as I'm sure you can relate to and a lot of your viewers can relate to as well, we're cut from a different mold, and we just think differently and do things differently. It's not to say one is right or wrong. It's just that I prefer to not have to be controlled by a boss. I want to wake up when I'm finished sleeping and choose more options in my life. And I'm grateful because after I left corporate America, then I was able to develop certain skills that I never knew I even had before. So, for example, I'm a technical person, a geek by nature. So now for me to be on stage, performing as a hobby, singing on stage all around the world, entertaining thousands of people in the audience, I would have never dreamed of using a different hemisphere of my brain, the creative side, to do that. But if I was still working 40, 80, 100 hours a week at a job, then I would have never known I even had that skill or ability. So the point is, what hidden talents and hidden abilities might we have that aren't even discovered yet?
Yeah, because people are so busy working hard for the money versus learning how to have money working hard for them.
Exactly.
And when you look back in your life, I'm pretty sure the journey is not going to be easy. On your journey to explore passive income stream for yourself, what do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge for me, I would say it's identifying what's the best thing at that time. And what I found is timing is the best. So just because something worked a decade ago doesn't mean it's going to work the best now. And especially with things evolving so much with internet and cryptocurrency, and there's so many things now that someone can, make money in, but so many things that people can lose money in as well. So it's kind of identifying what the best things are, looking at all the metrics and data points and seeing, or do you have access if something goes wrong to your funds, or do you have full transparency, different things like that, and then weighing out. But the best thing I could say is diversifying also, not to put all your eggs in one basket. So like when I had all my eggs in one basket, when I left corporate America, I was only in real estate. And then the 2008 crash happened, and everyone in real estate pretty much lost so much, and I lost a ton. And I had to spend that next year regrouping and changing my strategy to do more foreclosures and short sales and things like that. And then once I rebuilt, I realized I never wanted to put myself in that situation again. I never wanted to put all my eggs in one basket. And then that's why every couple of years I would develop another vehicle once one became successful.
I'm so glad you say that, because I personally in the financial services industry, I started as a real estate investor, and I used to have all of my eggs in one basket, which is real estate. And fortunately, I didn't go through what you've been through, right? But I can foresee it doesn't make sense for people to put our eggs in one basket. And I'm a big advocate about diversification. So when people want to get started, just they never have any investment experience before, what are some of the tips that you can give to our listeners, our audience, some tips that where can they start? Because yeah, they say, well, Angelina, I know I need to have passive income, but where do I start? Can you give us some advice?
Sure. And I have to say, disclaimer, I am not a investment advisor, but what I do is share what has worked for me. Everything I share and I teach are just different opportunities that I've gotten involved with, and I share my experiences. And I think one of the key things to any great investment or business, it all starts with mindset. So that's why one of the first modules in my 5M home study course that I have training, it's about mindset. And we all know how important that is, right? Shifting our mindset and so forth, how to think like a successful person versus unsuccessful, how to control money before money controls you, those type of things as far as passive income. But what most of the wealth gurus don't teach you about is something that's before mindset. And I believe that's even more important. And that's called your personality. And the reason is because your personality is pretty much formed by the time you're age 7 or 8 years old. And after that personality is formed, it's very hard to go against that personality. And what I've developed is a training with the edge of money personalities. That's my niche for it. And in my training online, as part of the Financial Freedom Mastery Academy that I founded, we show someone how to identify what your money personality is. Because once you identify what that is, now I train you and tell you in the video training what's the best type of businesses you should get involved with, what the type of investment industries you should get involved with, and also what type of coaches you should hire and not hire because of your personality. And we go into all of that on the training as well.
That's beautiful that you mentioned that, because we have a person asked that, what are some of your favorite passive investment vehicle? I would say this is case to case, right? Because some vehicle fits me, may not fit you, right? Depends on your money personality. Yes.
Yes. So it depends on that. I would say as one of the main things, key things. And there are other things as far as like, what's your risk tolerance? How much funds do you have to invest? Different things like that. And then what your likes and dislikes are. So that all goes into personality as well. So yes, it is case by case. But to answer the question, what do I like the most? You know what? I am not married to any type of investment or business that I've ever done, even jobs. I mean, I like technical stuff, but I always gravitated to whatever would give me the most profitability for the least amount of work, because personally, my personality is such that I want to spend more time flexible with my family, my friends, my business associates. I want to travel the world. So because of all of that, I want whatever is the least amount of work that pays me the most for the least amount of time. And, that has changed throughout the years. Like right now, I mean, I went to ATM machines and I have courses and with contracts and scripts to teach people how they can actually own their own ATM machine and get passive income that way. Then I went on to Forex, which is like the foreign exchange currency trading market. It's like stocks on steroids. And I love doing that because from anywhere in the world with your phone, you can just log in and see how your accounts are doing and do trades. And what's really hot right now with the current economy, with the pandemic, are e-commerce. So the Amazon and Walmart automated stores where you have virtual assistant teams doing all the work for you, those are going just really insanely profitable right now. And it's one of the best that I've seen business models. We don't know how long it'll last, but that's just, those are just a few of the things right there.
Beautiful. So speaking of the money personality, I know you came with amazing gifts for our listener and audience. And guess what? You are here in for a treat, because Raj is willing to give his proprietary money personality test for all of our listeners today. So Raj, how do they get that personality test from you and get in touch with you?
Sure. And here's the thing, Angeline, I really wanted to give your viewers and listeners a great opportunity with this for money personalities. Because if you think about it, most arguments and conflicts and fights in a household or business in any
Money,
relationship, they say is based on what? Money, right?
money,
Because
money.
one person would say to their spouse, or partner, why do you spend money so freely and you just like always spending and just give it away? You're so careless with it. But then that spouse might tell the other person, well, why do you hold on to money so tightly? Why are you so stingy? Why don't you live life a little bit more and have fun? So it's all because of these different money personalities. So once you identify yours, then you'll see in the training how you can identify the people around you as well, in your family, the people you work with. And then it starts to click why they do things and you do things a certain way. And what I've done today is created a website for your listeners and
Oh,
viewers. It's,
thank you.
it's kingrajgift.com. So that's
Raj.
KINGRAJ
Mm-hmm.
gift, GIFT, kingrajgift.com. And when
Mm-hmm.
you go there, normally to do this money personality assessment, it just takes a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes or so to fill out a questionnaire. And then you get the results. It's normally a few $100s, but for your listeners and viewers, for your audience, it will be discounted. So you get the discounted price. Instead of a few $100, you can get it for a measly $0. It's totally complimentary for
Wow.
your audience.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. You are so generous. So do we need to put any like coupon code or anything?
No, no, you just go to that link and then you'll get you opt in, put your email address, and then I can communicate with you that way. And I have customized videos to you. So it'll ask you, are you a business owner or are you working as an employee? And are you successful at it? Are you not successful at it? Based on those things, I train exactly to your specific avatar, your specific type of person, with your money personality, whether you're a job or employee, whether you're successful or not successful, all of these different matrices go in the algorithm so that I can train you personally based on your current situation.
Wow, that's so amazing. I think you're the only person who have this type of money personality test. I haven't done anything. I'm very excited. So again, it's kingrajgift.com. Okay. Guess
Yes.
what, Raj? Me and my husband, we're gonna both do it. Interesting you say that, because the way like my husband Carl, right? He spend money and it's a little different. He's like more focused on experience, right? And more focused on like solid, like improvement for the house, something I can like personal improvement, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's good because they say opposites attract. So that's the yin and the yang, as long as we understand that.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And I definitely gonna share this gift, not just for our family and our entire community. Um, so what kind of advice can you give somebody who want to pursue a similar career like you, right? Become an expert in terms of investment, generate multiple streams of passive income. Any advice that you can give to them?
Hi, there's so many things. I would say just get started. Get started, and it doesn't mean, never um, bet more than you have that you're willing to lose. Never invest, the food off your table, for investments, because you always have to think anything could go wrong. And it's learning, and I just look at it as it's a training, right? But sometimes one of the things I realized, especially being in corporate America, going to college, and just a school of hard knocks, right? Just of life itself, is that I had to not only learn a lot of new principles, but I had to unlearn a lot of
Oh,
principles as well.
I
Because
see.
sometimes we think we know things already. And at every level that I advance to the next level of coaches and mentors, to the next level of coaches and mentors, I realize sometimes it even conflicts with what you learned before at the previous
Yes.
level, because you're
Yeah.
at a different level now. And also, you want to make sure you protect yourself and have a good foundation with different things, get your mindset right, because it's not just about making money. It's about how much of it are you keeping as well. You don't want to just lose it all because you weren't properly set up with your mentality to hold on to it. And then the next level is not only keeping it, but then how do you give it away? Give it away to good things, because it's not about making another dollar. It's about making a difference as well. So those are the different phases that I've seen, but it all starts with you and learning And I would say hire a coach or mentor. I know Angeline, I just would speak so highly of her because I've seen some of her growth just in the last few years, speaking on stages. I mean, when they say someone kills it on stage, the phrase kills it, she kills it, because everyone that's there, she pretty much enrolls most of the room. So I just love watching you on stage doing what you do best. But anything that you offer, I would highly endorse and have your audience, suggest that they take advantage of that as well.
And thank you so much for saying that, Raj. And I feel like our investment philosophy is very aligned, because I always talk about the golden wealth triangle, right? I've seen people, they put more than they can tolerate about the risk and into the things that they think gonna grow, right? But sometimes things doesn't happen the way we want it, and it's very sad for me to see that they just crush their whole entire portfolio. It's yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned that it's not about how much money that you make, it's really how much money that you can keep, right? And having somebody that has been there like you, to help them, guide them every step of the way, I would say it can help them save tons of time, money, and energy. So thank you so much for sharing your unique gifts, Raj.
You're welcome. I'm honored to do so. I believe, to whom much is given, much is expected, and it's a great responsibility as well. We've always heard that quote, but that's just how, I was raised, and a lot of us. I know your culture, you're raised the same way, just to really give back.
Yeah, and then also here, Rob asked you, say, Raj, amazing that you passion for music. Do you think that you can create passive income with your passion, which is music?
Hey there, Rob. Good to hear from you. That is a great question. Very interesting question, because the answer to that may be a bit different from what most people hear. A lot of teachers say, figure out what your passion is and go develop it and make money from your passion. I disagree. And I disagree because some of my mentors taught me that the best thing is to follow opportunities instead. Follow the best opportunity for that time, because sometimes your passion may be something that doesn't make money. But now once you follow an opportunity, that's a great opportunity, and you become successful, now you've created the funds to now develop your passion, on the side, and then it can make money for you, because now you have the backing for it, the funding for it, and then you can do it. So there's different strategies. There's many ways to skin a cat, but I believe through my own experience, that's a better way. And I've always done that myself. I was always an opportunist. I go to what's working at that time, and then it can afford for me other things outside of that.
I see. And Raj, at this stage of life, you have created a lot of success in your life. You're a speaker, right? And having this amazing community. So I'm just curious, what's next for you? Like, what is the King Raj's vision for the next 10, 20 years?
It's to help more people get where I am. I remember when I was a teenager studying and following mentors, and I'd go to their mansions and, drive their luxury cars, and they were so generous. But one of the things that they always said to me was their challenges between the 9 to 5 hours of during the week, there's not enough people for them to play with. And I'm like, what? And then I saw that after I left corporate America, everyone else is working 9 to 5. And here we are. We want people to play with, people to go have lunch with, or, go out in the afternoon, because that's where the places aren't packed if you want to go sightseeing somewhere and this and that. So I want more people to play with. Angeline wants more people to play with. We want you to come on board. Come on, so we can have more freedom fighters and more successful people that we can have like-minded people to associate with and have fun with on a daily basis. And that's what it is. It's my mission is just to spread this message with more and more people, show them it's possible. Just because if I did this much, then there's no reason they can't do this much. I just want to show them some of that's possible for them. So it's more of that, and then to start a family and just carry on the torch. That's it.
That's beautiful. So what if somebody who really resonate with your style of coaching, they want to get connected with you, and maybe have you as a mentor, and what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Sure. You can first get your free gift at kingrajgift.com. And then you'll also see there my social media links and everything else. Just, follow me on there. Send me a message, say hello. Let me know that you actually came from the Entrepreneur Speaker Series, live streaming right now and podcast. And I'll make sure to take good care of you and just connect with me that way. I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much. And Raj, I really appreciate it. So we are about to time. I wish I can have more time with you. Hey, if you want to spend more time with Raj, right, stay connected with him, follow him on social media and get his money personality test. And maybe if you're fortunate enough, he can be your mentor as well. So Raj, final word for our listener, right? What kind of tips to help them create even more financial success, financial abundance in their life? Three keywords.
You know what? I would say one of my favorite words, and I'll say that one word 3 times: leverage, leverage, leverage. I try to leverage every single thing that I can because, I want the results to be not linear, but I want them to be multidimensional and exponential. So if I put an hour into something, I want to make sure that the return on that is multiple times back. And the same thing with when it comes to vehicles. For example, I found ways to leverage my vehicles, rent them out very easily with systems for that. And my luxury vehicles pay me to drive it. And if I have, properties and real estate, the same thing. How can I leverage that? If it's private jets, if I'm, going on a private jet ride, then how can I leverage that? Have it pay me to go on there. And there's so many different strategies to that. Or even credit. How can you leverage your credit? A lot of these e-commerce stores, or if you're doing Facebook ads and things like that, they just need to use someone's credit to just hold over to purchase something until they get paid from it right after. And those are opportunities for investors as well. So leverage, leverage, leverage. Try to leverage everything you can so you're not working for your money, but your money is also working for you, so you don't have to as much. Thank you, Angeline.
Wow, that's beautiful. And then you say a lot of things about leverage, right? Do you have some kind of course that you personally have that our audience can learn from you? Any course?
Yes. And it's all in the Financial Freedom Mastery Academy. When they go and get the gift, you'll be exposed to all of that, as well as my, private training, my group training, all of that as well. But these are just some of the concepts I talk about and much more. I mean, I do all types of personal credit and business credit, hacking or strategies, they call it, a lot of travel hacking, travel tips. There's so many different things out there. And it's only because not that I develop all these things, it's that I learned from people and invested a lot of my time, energy, money, resources to find out a lot of these things. So now I can use it myself for me and my family and friends, and then share it with my clients as well.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I really appreciate it. So now we can give you all these resources, right? But at the end of the day, you still need to take action, right? So if you want to get connected with Raj, go to kingrajgift.com. Okay.
Yes.
And also check out his is that Financial Freedom Mastery Academy, right? To check out his courses and follow him on social media. So Raj, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Angeline. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, all of your audience listening. Thank you all.
Thank you. See you next in the next episode.
All right. Bye-bye.